Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Taste of Dragons, the Toddcast, video game podcast that all you cosplayers listen to. My name is Brian.
I'm Joe.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Troy.
All right, and speaking of cosplays, you guys see any good ones today?
Oh, yeah. I saw a lovely Mario.
Oh.
You know, pretty awesome denim, I would say. Quality denim.
I saw Dionysius today, which is just classic.
Everybody knows who that is.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
of course.
Bacchus?
Oh, Bacchus, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dionysus was in one of the God of Wars. Maybe the third.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the second.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't occur to me that was just a person in costume and not actually a cosplay. But I'm sure there's some game that I haven't played that
I think it was
is...
like half and half.
Right?
Yeah.
It
I
still
think so.
counts. It's fine.
There was a really pimp Zelda Link
Yes.
tunic like mashup. It was really cool. I couldn't tell if this person was Zelda with a Link tunic on and the two of the colors of Zelda, or if it was a Princess Zelda disguised as a Link. But it was really good. It looked awesome, but I just don't know which one it was.
It was a really pretty color, and she still had the shoulder armor, and then like she just a perfect job of incorporating the two into one design.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I guess it serves to tell everyone that we are currently at a convention.
I guess that would help.
Yeah.
I mean, if they listened to last episode, they would know we're at Anime Iwai
That's right.
this week.
A awesome anime convention that also captures many other aspects beyond just anime, including video games.
That's
like,
true.
Like what this podcast is all about.
That's right. Definitely.
On today's episode, we will be talking about what we're playing, including Star Wars Fallen Order, Pokemon, and Minecraft. We'll then be moving over to the news. Hope you guys are ready for some new news.
Ooh.
And then we'll be moving over to our tasty topic, which will be about having too many games. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes just too many games. What are you going to do? And we'll close out with our Dragon of the Week, which will not be a person for the second time ever in podcast history.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll be talking about the amazingness that is, nerd conventions,
Nice.
which we're at right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
We are.
Yay!
Yeah, let's get into our first topic. Brian, take it away.
All right. Let's get into it then.
Right on.
What are you playing?
So let's see here. Joe, what have you been playing this week?
I started playing Minecraft Earth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that a new release?
New release.
Wow.
It is. I played it because Brian texted us and told us it was available. I was like,
did.
well, I've been meaning to try this whole Minecraft thing out, and I figured, you know what? No better way to play it than on my phone. It'll be available all the time. Let's do this. And then I proceeded to not understand anything. Like anything. You're crafting things, you're building things, there's build plates, there's leveling up, there's tapping on things, and the tapping on things is awesome.
Yeah.
Have none of us played Minecraft? Because it's the most popular video game in the
Ever.
world.
I've played Minecraft.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Which is
Oh.
the only reason why I knew kind of anything, because right now Minecraft Earth is just in early access.
You
So-
saved our credibility.
I know. Its version is 0.7 right now, so it's not
Oh,
even in
okay.
full release. So, it's not really telling you much. There's no like tutorials really. It tells you how to do a couple of things, but everything else you just kind of have to figure out for yourself. And I was like, oh, this is kind of still intuitive, but that's because I've played Minecraft.
Right.
Joe had never played Minecraft.
Oh my goodness, guys! I had no idea. I was walking in and out of like the office, and then walking back. I'm like, okay, so what do you do with this part of it? And he's like, oh, I don't think that's available yet. I'm like, no, it's totally available. Click on the menu. I just don't know what this does. It wasn't until I think it's almost been 4 or 5 days in that he explained to me where my inventory versus my crafting area was.
Because I didn't understand what her...
My problems were I kept seeing the crafting numbers. So when you're crafting something, it tells you how many you can craft of that item, not how many of that item you have.
Oh, right.
I think it's a very simple thing that could have been explained at some point, or if I had played Minecraft, I probably would have known.
So
Yeah.
wait a second. Bring us in on ground zero here. This is not just Minecraft. This is a phone location GPS game. Like, what is going
Okay.
on? I don't know what this is. What is this?
I'm gonna liken it to Pokemon Go.
Okay.
It's a real world game where wherever you walk around in the real world, there are items and things that you can tap on to collect to be able to build things. You can also leave plates down for a certain amount of time, invite your friends to build on this plate and take things from the plate to get more crafting things.
Real world you talk about. I don't know. What is this?
Must be a new release.
Wow.
I will say it seems to be, it's not that it's, I wouldn't say better or worse, because it's a lot like the Potter game, same kind of concept. There's all these different places that have clearly been already created, like cool pieces of art, that kind of stuff. But they don't name them any of those things. We haven't got a chance to do any of the adventure things, but there's these weird like shoots of light that are spitting out of things that are like adventure zone type dealies. We don't know how to play them yet because every time we went to do it, it just didn't work. So I'm hoping, over the weekend at some point when it will pop up here and we're like, oh, it's adventure.
Yeah,
I don't know what you
I've
do.
seen other people play them, and basically what it is you plop down an adventure wherever you are, so it's all in VR. However, the adventures are you like battling skeletons. You are like digging down into the earth in order to like collect resources, and there's some resources you can only collect by going on an adventure. And there's also some puzzle elements to them as well. So I'm looking forward to doing that. It's just that whenever we try to do it, it's at night, and there's not enough light in order for us. And plus, I don't really want to be walking around at night.
Yeah.
But it's the real world, right?
I know.
Real
It's
life.
scary.
If you don't want things to get real, find another game.
Legit.
Yeah, that's
Legit.
That's fair.
Minecraft Extreme? What's it called?
Minecraft Earth.
Well, it's their fault. Minecraft Earth, I mean, if you're actually going to these places and in real life, these usually like monuments or parks or whatnot you go to.
Yes, but the things in the game aren't those things. Or at least it doesn't look that way yet to us.
Yeah, right now the
Okay.
adventures, I think they spawn in specific zones. I just don't know which ones they are yet. They just kind of pop up here and there. And then for the stuff that spawns, so like in Pokemon Go, you have Pokemon that pop up here and there.
Yes.
In this, you have something will look like a bunch of rocks or something like that. And when you tap on it a bunch more times, and you get something from the earth. So you will get like stone, you'll get cobblestone, you'll get something that's
Sand,
ore.
granite,
Yeah. Something
kind of
like
stuff,
that.
yeah.
And then they have like these grass things that you see. And if you tap on that, you get grass, you get dirt, you get something from the earth. And then they also have sheep and chickens
Little
you can tap
piggies
on, and piggies.
and flowers. Oh my god, they've got tulips. It's amazing.
Yeah, so what you tap on is what you have a possibility of getting.
I know this is
Okay.
fun, but this sounds, just from face value, so boring. It's like, in Pokemon, you get like a Pikachu, or you get like a Raichu, or you get a Squirtle. In Minecraft, we'll give you dirt, or we'll give you sand, or if you're really lucky, you'll get a rock.
Wait, is it a sweet rock?
Ooh, sweet rock.
I can't say that you're not wrong, because for the first day, since I had no idea what I was doing, I was really unhappy playing this game. I was like, why am I
was.
doing this instead of playing Pokemon Go? I much prefer Pokemon Go right now, but it's like that Animal Crossing camp game.
Right,
It's
right.
a lot like that game, only that doesn't have a real world if you walk around in real life aspect to it, but all the crafting, as soon as he explained one piece of the craft, I was like, oh, I get a lot of this now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot like a lot of games, but the Animal Crossing one, I love that game too. So the crafting is actually rather fun. I just don't know what I'm going to build yet.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the real game as well. Like the real game, it gives you what you put into it.
Yeah.
In your actual Minecraft. So if you find building houses or digging into the ground boring, the game's boring. Whereas with this one, because there is also a collaborative building element to it as well, that is where I think a lot of people are going to get their enjoyment out of it, because you and your friend could both be on the same build plates, and then like, oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna start building a house if you want to like start making the garden, or you want to do something else, and then you have a collaborative piece of art, if you will, that you can share with other people as well.
You guys should build a dragon. I'm not telling you what to do, but
Once we get enough pieces, yeah, you got it.
I'm going to build Pokemon.
ooh, a Pokemon
Oh.
dragon?
Yeah, totally. I'm going to build just Pokemon dragons. Actually, I think that's all I'm going to build. And then I'm going to build how those dragons make moves. I'm gonna build Dragon Outrage
Ooh.
and Dragon Claw. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That way, when people are playing the game and they drive by my part of the game, it would still look like Pokemon Go.
Gonna mess with their heads.
They'd be like, "What am I playing? Oh my god, Pokemon went pix." Oh, did you guys get? I don't know if you guys played Pokemon Go when they went pixelated.
No.
It was awesome. They changed everything back to the 16-bit
Aw.
versions of them, and they were 32, 32-bit.
8-bit for
Was it full 8?
for I think the Game Boy. I think it was 8.
The game was never in 8 bits.
I don't know. Maybe it's 16. I
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
it was 16-bit.
Yeah, it was 16-bit. I think you're right.
Yeah, but either way, it looked great. I'm gonna do that.
Wait.
Yeah.
AJ, please fact check to
Fact
see
check us.
how many
Yes.
bits
Yes.
that the original Pokemon game was in. Thank you.
Thank you,
AJ.
Thank
AJ.
you.
Yeah.
I have to come to terms that these real world games are just not for me. I've tried the Wizard one. I've tried Pokemon. They're fun at first, and it's not the real world aspect. I think it's just like the the current iOS type game stuff. I'm not good with energy crystals. I'm not good with buying things in real life.
Oh,
Because
right.
I will buy them. Like
Yeah.
if it's like, hey, you have to do this thing and you only have 3 more minutes and you ran out of energy, but if you pay money, you'll get it. I'll pay for it and then feel dumb.
Oh yeah, that is.
And
the
I don't
good-
want to get caught in that trap.
Oh, of course, and that is the good thing about this. I don't know if it's going to continue once it goes to full release, but there
Yeah.
is no energy. There's actually no. You're limited storage. It seems to be
Okay.
unlimited storage as of right now. You can craft whatever you want as long as you have it. Looks like the only things that they are monetizing is if you want like bigger build plates. So if you want something bigger than like an 8x8, you can buy a 10x10. But even that, you can get those crystals in the game just by tapping on regular stuff. You don't have to do anything special.
Okay.
And I think so far I've gotten like 20 per day. I don't know if there's more than that or not, but so far I've gotten 20 per day
Sweet.
just
Yeah.
by playing the game. So I think that's actually pretty great so far. I mean, Microsoft is the one that owns it now, and I know they paid a bunch of money for it, but I think they've already gotten their money's worth from just selling it already. So I think this is just like a, hey, thanks for playing our game. Here's some stuff, you know. So I do think the monetization is really good for it
Cool.
as of 0.7 right now, build version. So yeah, all right. Well, good game there, Joe.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and then how about you, Troy? What have you been playing this week?
All right, I got a hot new release.
Ooh.
As of this recording last night, EA came out with a game from a little-known franchise known as Star Wars.
Oh.
Maybe you've
I've heard
of
of
it.
that.
You might have.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are really on the indie scene here, aren't you?
I mean, I got Disney Plus. And I think there's a category for it somewhere
One
on
of them.
it.
One
Yeah,
of them. I don't know
something
which
like
one.
that.
Right under Even Stevens, there's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some
of
Star
course.
Wars thing
Yeah.
going on. Star Wars: The Fallen Order came out today or this weekend. It is a third-person action-adventure game created by the studio Respawn, who is very famous for making games such as Titanfall and also Apex Legends,
Correct.
and is part of the original team that made Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So they know themselves some action.
Yeah.
But they got the license to make a Star Wars game, and I gotta tell you, I jumped in last night, and I am hooked. I played maybe 3 or 4 hours, and just within that time, I care about the characters. I am into the action, the fighting involved, and I am also genuinely interested in the where the story is going to play out. You play as Cal, which is a former Padawan,
Okay.
who escaped the Purge after the episode 3 of All the Jedis.
Yes.
Escaped the Purge and has been living low key as a scrapper, trying to hide the fact that he's Force sensitive until something goes on and he has to save his friend's life by using the Force. And everyone's like, wait a second. How'd you do that? He's like, it's nothing. I don't know, technology. So he's kind of outed and has to go on the run. And the opening sequence like involves that and is so captivating as a tutorial that not only did I learn how to play the game, but it also sold me on wherever this character was going to go.
Nice.
One of the most amazing things about the time that I played is the way they handle the tutorial. Instead of giving you like, hey, press this button to do this, they put you in a scenario and let you figure it out,
Oh, nice.
which is crazy. They never said, hey, press X to jump. They just put a gap and then you just jumped. You just figured out what you had to do, or there was a vine, or there was something to climb on. You just naturally went, I need to get over there. I have a basic knowledge of games enough to think it may be this button, and for the most case it wasn't, and if not, you very quickly figured it out, and that also helped you remember it for later because you figured it out.
Yeah.
It was just a really smart way to do a tutorial so that it wasn't to just dictate it at you. It had a little more soul put into it, or more
Nice.
organicness.
Yeah. A little more intuitive to
It was
to figure it
intuitive.
out. Yeah.
The action scenes were amazing. Just a high-speed train from the very get-go that led into a lightsaber on lightsaber fight. Like, they gave you everything you wanted from the game within the first hour. From the tutorial to the credits to a high-speed action sequence to literally having a lightsaber fight before like credits really roll.
Wow.
or the opening credits.
Even the mundane things are really cool. They do something that I really love in the good Star Wars films is they'll like take something super mundane and then bring it into that universe in a way that's just so natural, but like just slightly different than how they are here. Like there's a train in the beginning. There's like a Star Wars subway, and it's just brilliant. Like every moment that you're on it is just like, oh, it would be like that, or like, oh, see, like the different species that they put in it. All the subtle things are still there, which makes it just like amazing with this set building.
Yeah.
They are fleshing out the world in a really lovely way, and a lot of money went into it. You can see it with every single detail that they have put in the background or things that are near you or by you. That is super impressive.
Nice.
Gameplay wise, it looks like it's going to be an action adventure game that has hints of Dark Souls in it when it comes to the parrying system, having to be very precise with your parrying and your strikes. As well as I would say like a Metroidvania. I definitely got to some parts in the first world I went to where it's like, I can't get past this door because I don't have the right force power yet. Oh, I'll have to adventure in this game some more, get that power, and come back to get through this door.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a little bit of that as well. But, man, I'm in. I'm ready for that Star Wars itch. Like, come on. Let's go. Let's Wookiee it up. Let's get my pom-pom, my tom-tom.
Your
Tauntaun.
your tauntaun.
My tauntaun? Let me get my tauntaun on.
I like your pom-pom. Let's go for it. You're going to be a cheerleader for this now.
I got pom-poms for tauntauns.
Oh, yeah.
Between this and Mandalorian, we're in a good Star Wars place right now. We were
So
on board.
happy.
From what I heard, that this might also be EA's like last shot at Star Wars. That if this didn't work out, because I mean
Wow.
their contract is kind of almost up. I think they're 7 years into their 10-year contract.
And their last game, Battlefront 2, was a horrendous failure.
well, yeah, that's what started the entire, or not started, but like really blew up the entire loot box thing.
Yeah.
that was going
Yeah.
on. So this really was like, this is kind of your last shot, like,
Right.
Because
Wow.
you only have 3 years left on your contract. And if this doesn't do well, you're not really going to develop another good game in like 3 years. I mean,
You
I'm
know
sure they
what?
got other stuff working on, but
You know what, Brian?
yeah.
It shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first hour of this game shows that they know how important this is.
Okay, good.
And it is that good. It feels like Uncharted, but plays like Uncharted with a lightsaber. I mean,
Hey, that's good.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Hopefully this bleeds into some other EA things, because I feel like BioWare is also on their last leg of
Oh,
being
yeah.
like, if the next game you make isn't good. So hopefully this is evidence that that EA, instead of being like pressured to do something well and then falling flat, I feel like if this is evidence of how they're going to do things moving forward, I'm all on board, because this is great so far.
Yeah, good. So one of the things I know we had problems with, or at least I had problems with for the trailer for this game, was that the lightsaber doesn't seem to be cutting through people or cutting through things. Does it cut through people, or does it show anything like that?
You get a couple of attacks.
Okay.
If you have a light attack, then it will injure somebody. Maybe it'll like get their armor, or maybe it'll hit their weapon if they have it.
Okay.
But your heavy attack cleaves
Oh yeah.
mother in half. Like decapitation right down the middle.
Nice.
You see them smoldering, like peeling apart from each other. Like if it's not just humans, but like a beast that you may run into. There's a heavy attack that just cleaves them,
Nice.
smoldering. So no, it's not like an actual lightsaber where like you touch it and your arm falls off.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if that would make for great gameplay if that was the case.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are certain attacks that will do that and other ones won't.
Okay.
But they do have a dedicated block button, so you can just hold that down and anything that's coming at you, you'll just deflect, and you feel amazing even though you're just holding down one button.
That's something cool
which
that
is fun.
that I didn't expect, is that you're not someone who just discovered they were a Jedi. So they you start with a certain set of skills, which makes the game really organic, and they do it in a really like a natural way, is that you just start and like you can do blocks and stuff, but they build it into the stories. Like
so
you didn't
smart.
just learn this. You're not a savant all of a sudden.
Because you're a Jedi whose training was cut short because of a genocide.
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't finish your training. So it would make sense, video game wise, that you're not a master.
Yeah.
So it gives you a chance to learn more things or to remember things from your training when you were a kid that you forgot about. So it's set up for a video game really well. I can't wait to find out what happens next. It's literally like a blockbuster just given to you in game form. I'm on board.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
That's all I've ever wanted from a Star Wars game. Like, if I didn't have like 1,000 other games I wanted to play, I would absolutely pick this up. But I'm gonna wait a little while, see if I can get it on sale somewhere,
Sure,
and
sure,
then
sure.
probably pick it up next year.
All right.
Definitely before Final Fantasy VII Remake, because that's gonna absorb my entirety of my life forever. All right, well, good game there, Troy. How about you, Amanda? What you been playing?
This week I've been playing Pokemon Sword, another
New release.
It's been a crazy week, and it's been really great so far. I have to say the most striking thing is the graphics. Is just the set pieces that they put you in are gorgeous. I feel like the people in the Pokemon look nice, but they look very much like the last few that I've played. But the set pieces, oh, chocodiles, are they nice?
I really liked in the opening when you're running towards the one guy's house and the background is the city and it's actually moving how you're moving, and then when you get closer to it, everything rolls.
Wow.
It's really beautiful. Like, they did a great job. I agree.
The characters are really nice. I think the character design is interesting. It's very striking. Everyone's very unique, which is very Pokemon. I'm really on board. I think one of the things that struck me the most is the story isn't the same. You don't wake up and immediately go to a Pokemon professor who hands you a Pokemon because they want you to study Pokemon, because apparently their scheme for gathering information is to hire 9-year-olds.
It's a good scheme. They don't know how to say no. I mean,
just like, go out and gather data because I trust data gathered by a 9-year-old. No, it's different, and just the fact that it's different, I think, is just so engaging for me to be like, oh, this is something actually not the same. So
yeah, it's refreshing as well.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And I'm not very far. I only got to play it for a few hours because we are at a convention and we are engaging in real life stuff. But
and not the Minecraft real world, like the real world, the real world. Welcome to real world.
But they have some cool stuff. The way you catch Pokemon's a little different. It's kind of a bit of everything. So when you're in the tall grass, you can hit random like exclamation points that pop up of your head, like the classic Pokemon, or there's some Pokemon that you can see and you catch different type of Pokemon in different areas. And I think everything else that I've seen so far is pretty much the same. You can buy clothes, you can buy berries, you can buy equipment. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the new Pokemon designs. I've seen a few that are adorable. I picked Scorbunny because Scorbunny's the best.
What? Lies.
I got a chipmunk-looking thing. I got a fox-looking thing.
Which obviously aren't as good because you don't know their names.
Oh, no, I am not.
It's a Squovette, I think, is the cute chipmunk.
The chipmunk guy, I think
like
so.
a Squovent. I really wanted to catch one when I saw it yesterday, but I didn't have any Pokeballs yet, so I just murdered it. It's one or the other.
It's
You made it faint.
It's fainted.
We know what that
no
means.
One
We
does.
do.
Yeah.
It's like when Batman punches somebody with their car.
They just got real sleepy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't kill people. I just drop them off of buildings.
And they go to sleep. Nap time.
Sometimes forever. I don't know. I'm not their mom.
That's up to them. That's
Yeah.
on them.
I was a little disappointed because I heard before the game came out that you could skip the tutorials, and I was like, I'm very excited for this. I've played too many Pokemon games to sit through another tutorial, and you can skip some of the tutorials, but there's still a lot of tutorial that is just like, go run over here and this is how you run, and it was just like, what's the point of skipping like the Pokemon tutorial if you're going to teach me how to run?
Yeah.
The opposite of Star Wars.
Gotcha.
That is actually really funny. Like, really, you don't think a 10-year-old knows how to run?
right
That's all they do.
But I haven't played very much of the game, but I hope to talk about it a little more next week when I've gotten like time to like really jump into it.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since the new Pokemon takes place in the Galar region,
Galar.
in the Galar region, which is a faux London, have you been like playing everyone's voices in your head with an English accent?
I have not, but I have encountered some UK slang, which has been interesting because like I read it and I was
Right.
like, did they misspell that? And then I was like, oh no, that's something we don't use. So you'd have to like, I'd have to read it twice, read it once and be like, what? And then read it the second time and be like, oh no, I get it. Like I've never heard that word before in that context, but you get enough that you can piece it together.
I have full on turned on in my brain bad British, like Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins accent. Everyone's just like, hello, governor. Hello, Pokemon.
Is your Pokeballs?
Yeah. That's everyone in the game is just Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins in the game. Even my mom sounds like it in my head. It's been fantastic. Even the Pokemon sound like that. Groke.
Pikachu?
I initially thought you meant your real life mom, and I was like, that's amazing. And I was like, oh wait, no, we're still talking about the game. Okay, gotcha. So you said you chose Score Bunny.
I did choose Score Bunny.
And then what did you choose?
Oh, I'm Team Grookey, grass type all the way. He's the monkey with a stick. I mean, he has a weapon. What are you doing? You don't have a weapon.
I got fire. I don't need a weapon.
Yeah, well, I have leaves and a weapon. I have 2 weapons.
I'm just saying that I've seen that Pokemon element circle, and in this argument, I win.
All right, well, whatever.
That stick is now on fire, and that leaf is kindling.
We'll see if I come to your aid when Sobble comes after you.
Sabo's not going after anybody. Sabo's totally cool. I chose Sabo.
Oh, come on.
And he makes me so happy because he's sad. I don't know what it is. Like, his little sad face, like, you're so cute. I'm so sad that you're sad, but I'm not, because your smiley little sad face is great.
I feel like when
I love
Sobble attacks, it's always a surprise to him.
He looks that way. Toads look that way.
How'd that happen? Was that me?
You wanted me to do what?
I have a question. So in the game, when you choose your Pokemon, what did you guys' the rival essentially in the game? What did they choose as theirs?
They always choose the weaker element.
Yeah.
So I chose fire. He chose Grookey.
Okay, and yours chose Sabo.
Same with me.
Okay, cool. Mine chose Score Bunny. So
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cool. That's interesting.
Did you get the fist bump when you chose?
Yes.
I love stuff like that.
I think I had asked you guys earlier, but in the beginning, when you walk into your own room and there's a Switch sitting next to your TV, it has the controllers that you're using as the colors. Mine were green because I have the 2 green controllers.
Like in the game.
In the game, yeah. If you walk over to your TV and there's a Switch right next to it, it'll be like, oh, there's a console, a video game console on the desk, and you're like, oh, that's kind of neat. And if you walk away from it and you look at the controller colors, it's the colors of your controller that you're using.
Because like I looked at that today when I started the game, and I saw one controller was red and the other one was gray, and I was like, weird choice, Nintendo. Why is the other one not blue? Or they're both gray. And I was like, okay, whatever. I guess they just didn't want to put in those colors, to only find out that I'm the one who has one rogue red Joy-Con and the other one's gray because one of them died. Take that, Nintendo, for making bad Joy-Cons, some of them. And so I used one half of the new ones I bought. And so I'm the one who has a lopsided Nintendo Switch controller.
I feel like I'm the one who got the raw end of the deal here because I have the red and the blue. So when I saw it, I just assumed it was like the generic. I wonder if I change them and go back in if it'll be different. It'll be fun to like
I might
switch
do
them
that.
up. Yeah,
I might do it. Wow. I would have never noticed had I not been 2 green ones, and I'm like, that's really odd. I wonder why like they're both green. Like, I mean, because I'm playing
What
with
a
2 green ones.
coincidence.
That's really cool if it does actually.
You just
do that.
look down, right and left. Oh my god!
That's a really cool little detail.
It is.
It was. It really was.
This is a good excuse for me to buy the purple and orange one that are gorgeous.
They are.
Nice.
Just to test for science.
For science.
Science.
For science.
Of course. I have yet to start the game. I own it. I have yet to start it. So
Who will be your starter?
It depends on what the con people decide for me.
That's right. Tomorrow we are tasting it to the streets. Or taking it to the streets. That's right.
Tasting it to the streets.
Tasting it to the streets.
We're going to have the audience decide who Brian's starter Pokemon will be.
That is correct.
Take a little poll. That'll be fun.
It will, hopefully.
Do you have an inkling of who you hope it will be?
It really doesn't matter to me. They all are pretty darn awesome.
Wow.
I
So
was
political of you.
initially leaning towards Grookey.
Okay.
Because I'm usually a leaf person.
Okay.
I'm that type of
A Konoha.
yes, that type of thing.
Cool.
But then I was looking at the other ones, like the other ones are not bad either.
Right.
So it doesn't matter to me. I am happy with any of them.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
We'll see where it goes. We'll update you guys next week on
Right on.
what was chosen for me and whether or not I'm having fun with them. All right. Well, good game there, Amanda. And that just leaves me.
Hey, you?
Yeah, that is me. I've
Just
been
stranded over there.
Just
on your own.
stranded. I mean, I feel like death.
Well, that's not till the last day of the con when you've gotten that like con funkin'.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Everyone's been just breathing the same air.
Oh man, I've had a rough week. But yeah, I've been playing through Death Stranding. I've been playing through a couple more hours. I think I've probably at least doubled my playtime as of last week.
Nice.
And yeah, I've gotten like across the lake. I've been finding some vehicles. A lot of other things have been going on there. It's just like, I still don't know if this is real or not. like it's still a person telling me, I can't believe you.
So game wise, how is FedEx the game working for you?
FedEx the game.
What are you liking about it?
I'm enjoying just the mundaneness combined with the oh crap because like I want to play this game to like kind of relax.
Yeah.
But then you have the monsters in the game that just like there's areas where they are supposed to be,
Right.
and so you get to like kind of walk through them.
Yeah.
And so, but if it's your first time through, you don't know where those areas are.
Right.
So you just have to kind of have to walk through it, and then you're like your little blinking thing next to you.
Like robot sensor.
Yeah, it's
Robot
just like
ghost sensor.
all of a sudden just starts going haywire. It's like, oh man, I just wanted to deliver this. I just wanted to like relax, man.
I gotta say the kind of the ghosts that are kind of in this game that hinder you, they started off for me being like really intimidating, the way they kind of creep around and show up, and like I really don't want to touch them because they do horrible things to you and drag you through the mud and all that stuff. And at this point now, I'm just like rolling my eyes when they show up. They're just like that. They're like that person that showed up at the party, and you're just like, dude, last time you were here, you got super drunk, and ended up swimming out of a bathroom. Like
You dragged me with you.
and you dragged me in there with you. I didn't want to go, and now you came back, and they're not they're not scary anymore to me because you run into them so often, and there's also ways to get by them.
Yeah.
That I just kind of roll my eyes. I'm like, well, I guess this was going to take 3 minutes, but now it'll take 15 minutes to get to point B.
How many times must I teach you this lesson, old man? Because that's what it is for me. Like I'm just walking through an area, and then I get like the little thing going, like like you said, like man, this is just gonna take me extra time. I just want to get to this place.
So I think that's my biggest like grief with the game is I am enjoying the serene moments, the simplicity of your job is to get from point A to point B. How you do that, it's up to you. Take a ladder, take a friend's ladder, take whatever you got to do. Pack all these things on your back, try to balance it. That's fun. All of that is good, except for when these things show up, and it just makes it longer and is not necessarily for me that engaging to get through. It's pretty simplistic. It just takes time to get through them, and that's just kind of a slog for me. That portion.
Agreed. Like I would love to like play Destiny for a little bit, get a little bit hyped up, and then be like, all right, cool. I'm ready to wind down. Let me break out some Death Stranding, and then just deliver some packages.
Isn't that nice? Doesn't that sound like fun?
And then it's just like, oh, now I got things grabbing at me. Okay, I'm gonna hit the square so that way I can shake free. I shook free. Why are you grabbing me? And then it's just, oh god. Now I have to do this thing that's even longer.
You're so handsy.
Yeah.
It really makes you empathize with the character, though.
Oh, yeah.
Being like, oh.
Because that's what your character is as well, because your character can't die.
Yeah.
He's what they call a repatriate. So you're just going to come back. So it really is, even for you as a character, it's just like, man, now I gotta.
It's just wasting your time.
Yeah.
But the aspects of the game that are really enjoyable is the community aspect for me.
Yeah.
The fact when I first went into that world, it was just rivers and streams and a couple mountains, and you get across it. When I log into the world now, there's bridges being made, there's post boxes, there's generators to help refuel my bike, and they're all being made by other people playing the game. And what's happening is the landscape is changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kind of remarkable about what Hideo Kojima did is he made like 75% of a game and then left the other 25% up to the players to fill it in a unique way that sounds great. I'm rebuilding a bridge right now. Like, you're just doing like public service work. I'm just donating to a highway.
Yeah.
Like to just be made to make it easier for other people to get through this land. And I think that's awesome.
What if all of this is just a subtle way to tell people that they should pay taxes? You should pay taxes for the U.S. Postal Service, for mailboxes, for bridges, for roads.
If you help yourself, help others. You're helping everyone.
Right?
I will sign up for this propaganda.
That's right.
Let's go.
I have a question. So
Yes.
you both have a bike in the game,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
How often do you guys run into people that take your stuff? Because I watched that happen to Brian the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, that's not good."
It seems so. Since I am still early enough in the game, I haven't encountered them too much. They seem to be they are kind of roaming, but even then, they kind of have a base. So if you want to engage them, you can. And then outside of that, it's like it's negligible when you encounter them.
The way the game is set up is the first time you encounter them, they're kind of annoying. They can just like take your stuff. They're pretty much like UPS. If you're like the government postal service, they're like UPS being like, give me your packages, and they'll mug you for it. But as the game goes on, they give you ways to deal with them. You can time them up with bolo. You can restrain them. You could use some strategies. They're only interested in your packages. So I would leave my packages outside their camp, go in, take them all down, and without them caring about me, and then go back and get my packages. So it becomes the same thing as the ghost situation, where it's just like, oh, this is just wasting my time a little more. It's a little more fun than that, because I think they were a little more dynamic.
Yeah, it's more engaging.
Yeah. But you get the tools to deal with them, so they're not really a problem.
Correct.
That makes sense. Cool.
You can also steal their stuff, which is what I do like about them. Yeah,
Oh,
they were
that's
trying to
fun.
mug me. Instead, I mugged them and then stole their truck to drive all their stuff out of there.
It's not mugging, it's self-defense.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-defense.
It's only self-defense if they attack you first.
They shouldn't have put that base there if they didn't want me to steal their... Wait, am I the bad guy?
Always. And when it comes to video games, you are most likely the bad guy.
Yeah. And what I got out of... Or what I'm getting out of this game is exactly what I wanted out of this game. Because I got this day one...
Yeah.
To be engrossed in it,
Right.
to be like, all right, I'm in this with everybody else. I didn't realize how literal that would be until I started playing it, because you start playing it and like that day one, you see other people's stuff, but it's all like level 1 stuff. It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
basic. And then like as I was playing it, like I was like, all right, I can't play it for like the next couple of days. That's fine. Then I came on like 2 or 3 days later, and there's all these bridges, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like people are actually building. It's not just like regular old bridges. These bridges are like playing music.
Yeah.
They're entertaining me.
It's a multiplayer game in disguise.
Yeah.
And I think that's really brilliant.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like I said, I got everything I wanted in this game.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I'm having a good time.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, yeah, that'll do it for our games of the week. Good job.
What are you playing?
I knew we were forgetting something. There's something. All right. Well, that brings us now to our news segment.
News.
News. So since we've been preparing for this convention and I'm having a death week of no time, not that much news seemed to be, at least to me, came out this week. So let's just briefly go over a couple of things. There's been some new Pokemon Go bosses, right, Joe?
Why, yes, there have. I got to play Sierra last week, and I got to play Cliff this week. I kind of understand the Pokemon Radar thing, the Team Rocket Radar thing's a lot better. It's pretty fun. You find Shadow Stops, you do 6 of them. Grunts will drop some 6 pieces of components, and then it will build a Team Rocket Radar, which is kind of cool because then you can click on it and it will tell you if there's any Team Rocket Shadow Stops in your area. So as soon as you find one of the main bosses will be there. You don't technically need to use the radar to find those. If you happen to be looking on the map and it looks like a Shadow Stop somewhere, if you get near it, the boss pops up. They are way harder than the regular grunts. I probably did the boss with the Cliff one like 4 times before I decided, all right, fine, I'm going to actually use things that counter stuff. I have my main team that I use all the time for all the Shadow Stops, but I kind of had to do it the way you're supposed to do it. Yeah. I was like, all right, I got to remember what counters stupid T-Tars and stupid Snorlax. So it was really fun, though. And once it's beaten, you're like, yeah, I did that. So it was pretty fun.
Which is nice because you're level 40, which is the highest level you can be in the game. Mm-hmm. And so it's nice to actually have a challenge.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because the grunts were never really that big of a challenge. The Snorlax grunts, whichever ones had those ones, were the only ones that gave anybody trouble. And even then, it would still... So if you...
Attrition.
It was literally like, oh, all right, then I just won't keep tapping that. I'll do this differently next time. Yeah. Still use the same team. Not going to change anything out, but it's really fun. Yeah, I like the whole Shadow Stop Pokemon, like Team Rocket kind of taking over. And I heard earlier in the week somebody actually beat Giovanni already.
Oh, nice.
So there's 3 regular and then Giovanni, I think. From
and I think that's because you have a quest now, and that's the very last thing of the quest. So all right, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Nice. And then also Sonic the movie, the trailer. Earlier this year, there was a little bit of a controversy with it. I think some people just weren't happy with it. I don't know why.
You clearly don't have eyes.
No, I don't. Because so I first saw it and I was like, it's not that bad. Like, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But then they released the new trailer because they went back to the drawing board and they fixed it. And so they released a new trailer with that. this week. And so I saw a side by side, and I was just like, oh God, what was I seeing before? Because before, like I said earlier this year, I was like, whatever, it's just a bad design, it's fine. But seeing them both together, it's like seeing that one, like that dead fox puppet that people post.
Okay.
Next to like a real fox. Like
I don't know. I guess do I have Sonic blindness? Because like I don't know. For me, it was like, is it blue? Okay, like that's all I needed for it to be Sonic. Like he looked weird, but Sonic looks weird.
Yeah,
that is a weird looking guy already. I don't know. Maybe because I didn't grow up with Sonic. I didn't have a Sega. I didn't have anything to ground me into the Sonic universe.
Have you seen a new side by side yet?
I watched.
Okay.
I saw it all.
Right,
I saw it all.
All right.
And like I think it looks good.
Yeah.
Like it looks a little more cartoony. I don't know. For me, I guess I'm just not precious with the look of Sonic.
Yeah.
Personally,
Good on the studio though to receive feedback and then to elegantly take that feedback and to make positive changes and then to move forward in a way that's just like, hey, we heard you and then we made changes and we're just going to keep keep going on.
That is remarkable. The fact that they're making a movie for the fans and then the fans let their voice be heard. And instead of being like, hey, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway, they lost millions of dollars by not coming out when they were supposed to, and then more to remake it in the hope that not only will they do right by the fans, but also they will actually gain more people to come and see it. Like they sold, like my ticket is sold because of the extra work they've put in to redesign Sonic. Whether I think it looks different or not doesn't matter, but the fact that they went there, I really appreciate that.
They definitely have a story to go with the movie now that I think will engage people and get them to buy tickets.
Agreed.
I think a lot of it also had to do with because I did grow up with Sonic. I really like him. For me, it's literally as long as he grabs a chili dog at some point, I don't care. Like I loved those games, but every Sonic in each one of those games was, even though it was the same character, was like they were doing lots of weird, different stuff in all those games. It's not like every game was the exact same game as the one before it.
Yeah.
So I feel like he already changed a lot just through the games alone. And when he became 3D, it was like, this is the coolest song ever, along with a really cool Sonic game.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I felt the way you guys kind of did to begin with, where I didn't really see what the problem was until somebody memed it and they did like hey, how much easier would it have been to do this? And they did a really basic, like they pulled the nose, like literally like pinch tool in Photoshop, grab the nose and then cover the mouth a little bit so you can't see the teeth. And I was like, oh. And this is back when it first came out. I was like, I couldn't believe the difference. But I think now, I think it looks great.
Yeah,
I'm completely with you guys. I want to support it because they absolutely seem like they're doing right by the fans.
Also, the thing I really liked about the new trailer is that it was actually about Sonic versus the first one, which was about Jim Carrey, which I'm not against. Like,
No,
I
not
love
at
that
all.
Jim Carrey. But it was nice to actually be like, oh, this is a Sonic movie.
Yeah. And I think they did that because the first one sold me on it because of Jim Carrey.
Right.
I was like, well, Jim Carrey is definitely Dr. Robotnik. I am down with this. And then this one was just like, oh, well, now that's Sonic. I am absolutely in on this.
It's the opposite for me. I saw Jim Carrey. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
not about this life. That's not Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, they'll do another redesign
Right.
to just make his mustache a little thicker, fill him out a little bit.
I think they do visibly show him in the Dr. Robotnik
Yes.
Okay.
outfit.
Yeah, they do.
It looks
Yeah.
really cool.
It does.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And one of the ways that they did fix it was because they brought in somebody who worked on the comics.
Oh, nice.
Sonic comics have been going on for a really long
Right,
time.
right.
They brought in somebody who's done a lot of the covers and has done a lot of extensive work on Sonic in the comics. They brought him in. They actually specifically set out for him, and they brought him in. And he's the one that did all the redesign, and he's the one that gave the pointers to all the designers and all the people that were on the production. I was like, this is what you could do and what you should do because this is what people love. And he did great. I think it looks great.
Awesome.
So, good on them. Good on them.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
He should be a dragon.
Hey,
Maybe.
Ooh.
it
Possible
is game
future
related.
dragon.
Ish. And then speaking of, video game movies and TVs, The Witcher has already been approved for a season 2.
I mean, did you see Henry Cavill in a bathtub? Of course it's going to be.
He's the
Teared
man
up.
from U.N.C.L.E., okay?
Yeah. And he's going to be the man from 2 more seasons of The Witcher
Yeah.
before the first one even comes out.
I cannot tell you how many tweets I saw, which were a side-by-side comparison between him in a bathtub to a video game Geralt in a bathtub. And I was just like, really? Really? This is where we are, internet? And then I was like, why am I surprised? This is my fault.
Also, this is the internet.
It's Henry Cavill without a shirt on. That's all people want.
Yeah, that'll It'll be The Witcher.
Yeah.
Can't disagree with that.
No?
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, same. And I do like how that shows, like, hey, invest your time in season 1 because there will be a season 2.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a nice little vote of confidence.
Yeah.
Instead of like watching something and be like, all right, it's canceled. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's always a bummer.
Yeah. And then we have some Dragon Age news, right there, Amanda?
We do a bit, and this is kind of a rumor, but I'm such a big Dragon Age fan that I felt like we should mention it.
Oh, yeah.
Dragon Age, December 4th is Dragon Age Day, and they're holding a party with EA to like celebrate. I think it's 10 years.
Yes, 10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
Of Dragon Age. And there's rumors that they're going to be doing some announcements. I mean, Dragon Age 4 has already been announced, but maybe we'll get to see a snippet of some concept art or something cool. They definitely won't have gameplay. They said that the game probably isn't going to come out until 2022. But maybe we'll get to see a new trailer or some more information or some hints about some Dreadwolf. But it should be fun.
Yeah, anything Dragon Age you are down for.
Yes.
Amanda.
just give me one more word that Solus says.
maybe they'll tell you what's after the colon in this movie.
Right.
Like,
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 4, colon, and then just
whatever
one word.
it is. Yeah.
They take that picture that they showed us last time and they just extend it a little bit. Get like 2 more inches on either side.
I figure they're just going to do that the Bendy and the Time Machine thing where they just keep sending one more letter out.
Oh, God.
No, I can't take that again.
Except for day by day, it's year by year.
Oh, gosh.
And then the last bit of news, we got, Days Gone. They got a motorcycle DLC, right, Troy?
So because Death Stranding came out, Days Gone is paying a little bit of a homage to the new release of Death Stranding. Days Gone, the zombie post-apocalyptic open world game, and they tricked out the main character's motorcycle to be Death Stranding themed, meaning they put a little baby in a in a bottle on it, and as well as some sweet decals to just tie it into the universe, and that's cool. If you're still playing Days Gone and you're into babies on your motorcycle, this is the DLC content for you.
Are they decals or are they decals?
Ooh, for Deacon St. John.
Nice. Nicely done there, man.
That's the main character of Days Gone.
And is the DLC free?
I don't know, actually. Since I've already played the game, I saw that and I was like, I'm not going back in that world just for that. So yeah. I didn't look up more.
Nice. All right, and then speaking of Death Stranding and stuff like that, somebody released a little goose that was like Sam from Death Stranding with all the stuff on its back.
It looks pretty close to the Sam that I have, actually.
Yeah.
My Sam waddles.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of packages.
A lot of packages.
Can't move very fast.
A lot of waddling.
Yeah. Nice. All right, and that'll do it for our news segment.
Brian, we're at a convention this week. We're working hard. And you know what? After working a long day, setting up at a convention, getting ready for a big show this weekend, I forgot to eat.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
But you know what I hated more? Or that I loved more? I went to a whiskey tasting panel on an empty stomach and got a little sloshed. And I was there sitting, I'm like, what am I going to eat? And I decided that we had to go somewhere to eat something, but I couldn't think of what meal or what I would have that would be satisfying, that would kind of soak up that alcohol. I don't know, something that's zesty. I could probably get it at a diner, but I just don't know what I would eat to really fix myself.
Well, you said a diner, so maybe like an omelet.
Okay, omelet maybe, but what kind of omelet? Is it like a bland omelet?
Nobody wants a bland omelet.
Well, you didn't specify.
Well, you're fair. And it's any old diner. It could be.
It could be.
It could be terrible.
I want something that's got a little more zest, a little more smack, but I can't think of the word to describe it.
Like tender, like a tender talking.
Close. Kind of like a tender talking, but not quite.
That is close.
I can't think of the word.
I feel like that's right. Joe, anything?
I think it sounds like it should be tasty.
Yes, I want something tasty, but not an
Sounds
omelet,
tasty.
something else.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to cut back on the eggs. A tasty.
Maybe something off the top of the menu, like a topic.
Like a tasty topic.
Slurp.
That's right. This is our tasty topic portion, and that was our tasty topic intro. This is our chance to take a topic from gaming and dive a little deeper into it. Something personal or something that's happening pop culture wise within the games industry.
That is correct. And this week's tasty topic is brought to you by Troy.
That's right. So check it out, audience. We are here. This week we have big new releases. We have Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out. We have Star Wars The Fallen Order. You all are going deep on that Minecraft Earth. Last week was Death Stranding. You know what? There's a lot of things to play right now, but what we don't have is a lot of time.
That is correct, sir.
So the question is, how do you deal with a overload of video games? Imagine that you are Sam from Death Stranding, and every package is a new video game on your back. How are you dealing with the queue, so to speak?
I mean, it depends on if I'm like leaning right. I just have to hit L2 and then I just lean back to the left. You
Correct.
know,
Hold
like,
on
you know,
to it. Make
hold on
sure you're
to
not
it.
near any water.
Of course,
no slipping.
Well, what do you do, Troy?
So usually I play one game at a time.
Okay.
My normal thing is like, hey, if Death Stranding is coming out, I'm going to sit and play that game and finish it, and then before moving on to a new game.
Okay.
That changed with heavier games. Some games I don't want to play a lot of, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Sometimes the material may be a little bit heavy. Death Stranding can be like that. But if it was like Edith Finch or one of those games that are a little heavier, I want to play that for a couple hours and then put it away and think about it or something. I don't want to mainline it. So I started having a thing where I would play like 2 games at once, like a palette swap.
Yeah.
I would play something maybe a little bit heavy like Edith Finch and then have like Overwatch, something that's light and fun on the side. That all changed when this podcast came around because
Ain't that the truth?
we're on a cycle here, and I'm enjoying the mental struggle of trying to fit so many games in such a short period of time. So I would say that there is nothing physically that I'm doing to try and fix that, but mentally I'm just trying to not feel overwhelmed.
Fair enough.
I knew I was going to play a few hours of Star Wars last night, but I'm still going to go back to Death Stranding and just kind of finish that out as kind of my heavier game. And then my light game on the side will be Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to balance out like that. Once I'm done with one of those games, I will then move on to Star Wars. So
yeah, that's not a bad way to go about it.
I don't balance my own schedule like this. I don't even balance my eating schedule like this. You can tell by my tasty topics, which are all real life experiences.
They are.
It's crazy to me that I will put more time into my gaming schedule than my actual schedule in life. But hey, priorities. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
It's true. It's very much so. How about you, Joe?
I was kind of a lot like Troy. I would pick a game, and if it was a little bit something that was far more in depth, or you would have to spend a lot of time on it, I would spend half the week playing that game, and then I would put another like decompression hours into like Dr. Mario or some game that is truly a mindless game. I could spend playing 4 hours where all I'm doing is decompressing.
Right.
I used to do that a lot more. I don't get to play Dr. Mario almost at all anymore. I don't have time. Like also partially because podcasting, we have a show that we're putting on. We're here at the convention. It's a lot of like all that kind of stuff just gets in the way of having a little bit extra time to play Dr. Mario. And that used to really be my I think I put like 300 something hours in Dr. Mario at this point. So yeah, if anyone sees my Nintendo Switch Online thing, it's like, you've played how many hours? Oh my God.
And before that, it was Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
You have over 400 hours in Breath of the Wild.
I would just
Yikes
run around.
on
I
bikes.
didn't. This is before the Quark mask was out. And I
Okay.
was really working
Ugh.
hard at getting all those seeds. So
Wow.
I would spend hours just in certain areas just because I'd just be looking at every little thing, trying to see if there's a rock somewhere to move. Like, really ridiculous. And then they put that mask out and it was a lot easier. But ultimately, I used to do that. And now I think I don't even finish half the games I start anymore. Because I get bored. Like if I spend 10 hours in a game and I'm not really enjoying myself, I just stop playing that game.
Yeah.
And then I find my little brother and I go, do you want to play this game? And I give him that game. Like,
Right.
I think I talked about it with Lewis a really long time ago. And he was one of the first people I think I ever met that would play games like I did. I've put 2 hours into a $60 game and be like, I hate this. I'm not playing it. Like, I really like, and he was the only other person I ever met that was like, I'm not going to spend $10 on a game I'm not going to play for 2 hours. And I was like, what are What do you mean? I've spent so much money on games I didn't want to play. You should have standards? Are you saying we should have standards? I don't have standards. Oh, no.
But I do like that, the way that you say that, though, because it's like the sunk cost, thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I've already put, $80 in this. I might as well put another $40 into it. It's like, no, cut your losses.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, yeah, you spent $60 on it. But at least you're not also wasting the only thing you can't get back, which is time.
Right.
So you might as well put that into something that you want to play.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're better off than I am because you buy physical games. So if you wanted to, you could trade it in or sell
I try
it.
to get
I buy digital games. So it's just like, well, if I don't play it, then that's just like,
it's just
well, I haven't,
there.
I can't do anything. Which is a bummer.
I'm a massive fan of the hold the cartridge thing.
Yeah.
But it's also because I have a little brother and a little sister that I've always I'm done with this here. Do you want this game? Or half the time I'd be like, I played this for 3 hours. This is terrible. Take it. Yeah, my little brother's ended up with a lot of games to trade in that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
He really has. Every time he tells me, like, yeah, I went and traded all this in, I'm like, what the heck, man?
Those are mine.
I could have traded this.
The way I go about it is kind of like Troy as well. Like I used to try to just do one game at a time because I found myself, I've noticed this about myself, that as soon as I take a game out of the tray of my PS4, that's not going back in.
Really?
I don't know if it's laziness.
Yeah,
I don't know if I know how I am, so I don't want to continuously swap out discs.
This is why you buy digital.
And so that's where I was going as well. So I do like buying physical games. I like having them on my own. But I do find myself like with like the Destinies and the Overwatches, where if I have it digitally, I will switch to them. Mm-hmm. Whereas before I wouldn't, just because of like, I don't want to get out of, it's 2:00 in the morning. I don't want to get out of my couch. Right. But I do want to play a different game. So, hey, look, I can just play Destiny or I can just play Overwatch. Mm-hmm. And so that's how it's been for a little while. And then this podcast started. Yeah. And so I found myself like, all right, well, I do like playing games for weeks at a time, but I also want to talk about something else on this podcast. So I would find myself like, all right, well, I've talked about, whatever, No Man's Sky for 3 weeks in a row. I'm still enjoying myself, but I do like decompressing with No Man's Sky. So I'll play something else beforehand to maybe get myself maybe a little bit riled up, but then I can always just go back to No Man's Sky. Or at this point, it's actually right now it's just going to Disney Plus because I don't have a game I'm playing right now where I can just deliver packages without any ghosts bothering me. So yeah, that's how I find myself doing it. I like to play like one game at a time, and then but because of this podcast, it's like, all right, let me sprinkle something else in there.
Perfect.
So yeah, I think just gonna get through it little by little, and then especially if there's a new release coming out though, and I do want to finish a game, I will do my best to finish that game before that new release comes out, and usually it works out.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I do. And then Amanda, what about you?
I usually play 3 games simultaneously, as I have like what I consider like a me game. So whatever I want to be playing at the time, which is usually like a solo game, like an RPG, like a Harvest Moon or something. I have a multiplayer game, which is the game that I'm playing with my friends, which I don't always play, but when people want to get on and play together, I have the one that I'll pick up. Mm-hmm. And then I have a mobile game, which is like if I'm not home, what am I playing? And sometimes that's the Switch, and sometimes that's my iPhone. So I kind of rotate between the 3 of those, and that usually gives me a pretty good balance for the podcast. Is if my me game is something that I've played for 3 weeks, then usually I have a different multiplayer aspect of the game I'm playing, even if the game is the same. Or I've had a new mobile game, and it's easy to pick up a new mobile game if I'm like, I've played this for 4 weeks. I don't have anything to talk about. But I'm a little like Joe in that if something's on my backlog for too long, I'm just not going back. It's a horrible waste of money, but there are so many new and exciting things to play that's hard to be like, I'm gonna go back and play that last 10 hours of this game that's kind of lost the luster for me. Mm-hmm. And I should get better about that. I feel really bad about it, but also at the same time, like I'm enjoying the new things that I'm playing. Mm-hmm. And the sandwich system works really well for that, actually. Is like, I paid $60 for this. That's like, like 4 sandwiches. Like, did I get 4 sandwiches out of this? Yeah, I played 4 sandwiches worth. I don't have to always get to like the finite final ending in order to feel like I was validated for that.
Those are some expensive sandwiches. 4 sandwiches for $60.
Yeah, maybe they're like the best sandwiches ever, though.
Man.
You need to up your sandwich
I
game.
do.
Yeah.
I only like ham and cheese though.
See,
those are just cheap sandwiches.
I'm talking about someone making me a sandwich. I'm not talking about like I went to the store and bought bread and cheese because you can make some sandwiches. I'm talking like I ordered the sandwich, they made it, it came with chips, it's got a drink. My sandwich is like
the entire experience.
Yeah.
I got you.
They got a pickle, they got a toothpick through the top.
Oh, pickle, gross.
Good sandwich.
I should also preface this entire conversation by saying these are all lovely problems to have.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is a lovely thing that we have too many games to play.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. And we are also financially secure enough so that we can purchase games.
Yes. Oh.
If this was back in the time where I can only buy one game, that is the game I'm going to be playing. It doesn't matter how terrible it is.
We also trade games. We don't buy everything.
Yeah.
We trade amongst ourselves. We also have Apple Arcade, which is just like a huge collection of games that we have access to. We also have like some places that give us free games periodically, like the PlayStation subscription, or Steam has discounts and stuff. So
yeah, and it's also the best time to be playing games as well, because even though a lot of mobile games are free to play and they kind of suck money from you, you still have an option to play games for free.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just awesome.
And
you have
there
your
are
Fortnites as well that are completely free. I mean, you do need a computer and internet, but even then, it's such a low bar.
You can play Fortnite on your phone.
Yeah, you can play Fortnite on your phone, exactly. So I think it's just an awesome time to be playing games.
Agreed.
Especially if you're low on funds. It's a great time.
Yeah.
So you won't get that newest costume. That's fine. You can still kill people with that newest costume.
If you're low on funds, you need to be friends with Joe.
Yeah, just stand near me when I'm tired of playing something. I'm like, here, do you want to play it? I just hand it to whoever's near me. It's true. John has played so many games that way.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. Oh, I'm so thankful someone's finishing that game.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that topic. Good topic there, Troy.
Thank you, Troy.
It's topical.
All right, now that brings us to our very last thing that we do every single, episode.
Do. It's the dragon of the week. It's what you seek. Ooh. It's the dragon of the week. No, it's not Meek. Dragon of the week. Dragon of the week. And we have a very special Dragon of the Week this week. Usually it is a person that is in the games industry that we'll highlight and talk about. But because we're at this convention, we wanted to spruce up our Dragon of the Week and make it a little more diverse by talking about conventions. We have gone to conventions for 13, 15, 20 years.
Too many years. Don't
many
say
years.
it. Don't say it.
And being at one right now has really kind of made us reflect on conventions and what it means to us. We are currently at Anime Iwai convention, which is an anime main themed convention, but also incorporates a lot of different game elements, a lot of different movie elements, and a lot of comic book elements. And so we just wanted to spit some game about conventions. Now, originally conventions were made a very long time ago. They used to call them meetings.
Now those are just boring at work.
I know, right? But that's the thing. Conventions started as business conventions where people of like-minded business ventures would get together to make contacts, to spread different ideas, and then be able to make new connections to further their businesses. And then someone wisened up in the nerd world and was like, I just want to talk about Star Trek to somebody. But no one's around me that talk about Star Trek. Hey, you want to meet up? Hey, you want to meet up? Hey, you want to meet up? Before you know it, here you have a bunch of people together. They're able to be like-minded and find a group to be like-minded with. And that has always been an amazing thing about conventions to me.
Yeah.
And this is before cosplay.
I mean, and even back then, like if you look at pictures back from like the first couple of Star Trek conventions, there were people dressing up.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
It was just one of those like, oh, this is just a cool thing to do. I really love this thing so much. I want to dress up like it.
And it was so hard to iterate your passion for something, especially if it was something that was a little off. It wasn't a sports team or it wasn't a boxer or something. To be able to go someplace and dress up like the captain or something, it was like Picard. It was really cool. to be able to express yourself.
Yeah, that was like wearing your team jersey.
Yeah.
Like, this is my favorite team. I love Picard. Oh, you're a Spock person. All right, that's fine. I guess everybody's wrong every now and then. And then you have a little fun with it, and you meet people.
Yeah. So one of my favorite convention memories is one of the first conventions I went to in 2007. I went there, saw a show. We were in a show doing our 3000 Brigade thing. And then afterwards, I was just walking around looking at things. And then I found the video game dedicated room. And this is back when I just played video games by myself. Maybe one or two other people I knew were into it. But as far as like how deep I enjoyed video games, I didn't really have anyone to connect to on that. And then I walked and I saw this room of everyone just playing Smash Brothers and GoldenEye and other various multiplayer games. And I was like, wait, you all are in here playing this? Or, Guitar Hero. And I walked in and no one like looked at me or it wasn't weird. It was just like, hey, come in and just play some games and talk to people and shared interest. And I felt such a good sense of belonging just from that moment of getting to walk into a room where all this is about is gaming. It's not ancillary. It's not you're doing something and gaming. Like the focus was gaming. I had never done that before. Besides like an arcade, but you don't really talk to people that much in arcades.
Even in the multiplayer's not as much there.
Yeah.
Even if you're playing a multiplayer game, you're really talking to the other person.
Especially back then,
No, not really. So so conventions have a near and dear place in my heart because it gave me that acceptance that I didn't know I was looking for, but greatly appreciated to have.
Yeah. Any convention memories for you, Joe?
Oh, there's too many. There's too many. In emphasizing just video games, aside from obvious the 3000 Brigade shows, I used to love going to AWA. I was real hard into Naruto.
What's AWA?
Anime Weekend Atlanta. And all my friends, we would all rent a van and have separate cars, and we would all go up and we would stay at a hotel really close to the convention center. And I loved going into the game room because it was very like-minded with Smash Brothers. I loved seeing people play Smash, but I was hard until like Gekko Ninja Tyson for Naruto.
Ooh.
Like I was
I
about
remember
those
that.
Joe's Japanese.
That's like the 2D fighter street. Yeah, that game's hard when you're playing against Joe.
I'm all right at it. But our whole crew, we would play in the store after hours, and then we would play when we got home, and we would play this game so much. And I used to love walking into places and sitting down and having somebody like, oh, do you know how to use a controller? They're like, yeah, I think I know how to use a controller. Do you want to pick the character I'm going to be? And like, the people would be like, ha ha. I'm like, no, seriously, you can pick whatever character you want. Pick one. If it started off with, do I know the controller? You pick a character and I'll show you if I know this controller or not. And it was really fun. And if that isn't what happened, I could sit down, I could watch other people. And I mean, I was never a tournament player. I do not have the bloodlust for that.
Right.
But it was awesome watching people who were amazing.
Yeah.
Like I could never imagine doing the things it did. And Smash Brothers was the same way. I was watching people play Smash that I couldn't imagine. I don't even know how they figured out to do what they do. And it was so cool. And it was one of those, like, even if I went home and practiced for 100 hours, I would never be able to be as fast as that person or as cool. And it was just great to see everybody getting like so hyped up. And like, and being at home with your friends is one thing. Playing by yourself is another. Being in a room with people you don't even know, but they are just as passionate as you are. It was like magic almost, and it was kind of like you have a sense of belonging, and it's so I really love conventions for that. You you feel right at home.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Mine's also AWA, Anime Weekend Atlanta, and that's because before then I really didn't go to conventions all that often. I knew of them. I've heard of them. I know my friends were going to them. I just never really paid much mind to it. I think the convention I went to before that was like the Tate's run ones at War Memorial Stadium, and that was just seller like dealer con.
Okay,
it had no like.
It was
game
more
room
the business aspect of conventions.
Yeah, it was
social.
just like it was like, oh, I can go in here, I can buy movies 7 and 8 of Dragon Ball Z on VHS. I mean, granted it's bootleg, but it's fine, and so that's what I used to do, and I would only go to those. So when I went to AWA for the first time, and we're all walking around, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like back then, this was 10 years ago. There was like 20,000 people that used to go to AWA.
They were 15 plus easy.
Yeah, and so it was a 4-day con as well. Mm-hmm. And so just walking around going, this is just a lot of people. And then one of the nights we were walking around, and one of the video rooms would just show music videos for anime music
AMVs.
videos.
Oh my gosh.
And so, but that's what it was during the day. Then at night, one of the nights, it turned into an old, like, classic video games, but it was still on the
Really?
giant projectors.
That's sweet.
So you have people playing like Pac-Man on like probably like a 300-foot screen. And so it was like, this is and then like the place isn't packed inside of there, but you can definitely see like people are looking at it going, wow, that guy's really good. This is awesome. And then and there's all these different screens that are going off, and all they are just classic video games.
It's so validating to have a passion for something that you think should be on like a big screen, and then to go someplace and then see it on a big screen to know like, oh, someone else feels that way too.
Yeah.
It's really special.
Yeah, and I didn't even know what was going on. We just happened to walk past it. I was like, and we were just walking past it, and I like did like one of those like, you know, one of those movie double takes, like, huh? And I, like, backed up, and I was like, is that a giant Pac-Man? And like walking in there going, there's a giant Galaga. This place is awesome. Let's hang out. I'm going to hang out in here for at least an hour or two. So, yeah, and that's what it was. It was like, wow, there's this many people that are into this and want to, you know, and it's big enough to put on a 300-foot screen, you know, projector, you know?
Right.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And then Manda.
I have to say one of my favorite things is kind of I enjoy cosplay, and I enjoy seeing people in costume. I think there's something amazing about going into a room and seeing people like embody their favorite character. But one of my favorite parts of cosplay is when the people are around you are willing to kind of play with you, which is kind of one of the, like, we talked about acceptance and about how conventions are all about acceptance, and I feel like that they kind of bring people to a new level where you'll be able to have like a back and forth that you wouldn't normally be able to have. One of my favorite things that we ever did was we dressed up as Gundam mechanics.
Oh my god,
that was the best.
Instead of being characters from an anime, instead of being dressing up as Gundams, we just dressed up as the people that you never see that obviously fix the Gundams.
It was great.
Which, if you don't know what Gundams are, like giant robots that people fly through space. Yeah. And just all weekend we just jumped into like these characters that are just like, do you need us to we went up to people in robot costumes, and they're like, oh, my elbow's a little tight, can you loosen me up? And we had like tools and stuff, and we messed with them. Or we had a friend who was catcalling, but he was catcalling in the most supportive way. It was just like, I'll take your mom to dinner, do you need someone to feed your cat? I'll be there for you emotionally.
I have a 401k. Like, it was the best.
It was the best.
But just being surrounded by people who weren't just like interested in playing with you, but were just absolutely there for that type of interaction, to be silly and to be fun and to just be like unapologetically yourself is kind of something really wonderful.
Yeah. And that was pretty awesome as well, because you know, we're not characters from anything, so it's not like you can look at us and go, oh, I know exactly what that is. But we did have like somebody who had like a giant wrench, like we
huge.
we
Yeah,
made this
he
like,
built like this, like, what, that thing was like 4 feet long.
Yeah,
about a
wrench.
4-foot long wrench. And so people would be seeing this, you know, walking up going, what is that? And then they would see our jumpsuits that we're wearing, and it has, not in very big letters, but it says, you know, Gundam Mechanic. I'm like, oh, I get it now. That's pretty great. And it was what, like 8 of us, 10 of us, something
there
like
would be
that.
like 10 of us, I think, that did it.
Yeah.
And it was just a ridiculous thing. I don't even remember who came up with it. It was like, we could do that.
Like
We can
that's
totally
comfortable and funny.
I'm gonna get all the jumpsuits, and we'll sit here one day. We'll paint the things on the back of them. And I think we all did that in the course of like a week too. I really don't feel like we thought about that
we
through
didn't.
very much.
And it's a great interaction. And that's what I think conventions are all about. It's about interacting with your favorite nerd thing with fellow nerds.
Right.
You know?
I mean, we kind of have a mini convention every week with this podcast.
Ooh.
With each other and you at home.
That's
or
right.
in your car or on a treadmill. I don't know where you listen to this.
Yeah.
Through your headphones.
Oh, there you go. In your ears.
This is a shout out to conventions, but also to people who run conventions, and for people who work for conventions,
Thank
and
you.
people who go to conventions. So.
Yeah.
You are all our dragons
Yep.
Yeah.
of this week.
Because you have made us feel included in this grand venture that is life.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Whoa, put that on a poster, man. Put that on my ceiling. Wake up and be like, yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you to conventions.
Right on.
Our Dragon of the Week.
Our dragon of the week.
So- and that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Bidoo.
Wah. And as always, we record live upstairs inside Takes Comics, but not today.
Nope.
Today, we're recording live upstairs in a hotel room.
Yep.
At Anime Iwai.
At Anime Iwai.
Yep.
Still powered by our friends at 3000 Brigade,
What?
who had an amazing show, I'm sure, last night on the main stage.
Knocked it out of the park.
I'm sure they
Best
did.
one yet.
They broke all the legs.
I hope not.
Oh no.
That's why we're all sitting, is that?
That's fine.
But yeah, as always, you can find us online.
That's right. Check us out on Twitter at Taste of Dragons for week-to-week, day-to-day updates on what's going on in the industry world, and also on Instagram at Taste of Dragons as well for fun features throughout the week where we rank some video game dragons and look back at gaming history. It's like extra content just for free, just out there. Go
Wow.
listen, go watch, go see.
Yeah, you guys put a lot of work into that, and we appreciate that.
It's true. It's true.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
That's right.
Isn't it like, comment, and obey?
Ooh, Borderlands reference.
Yeah.
Very
Wait,
nice.
like, subscribe, obey?
No,
I think
you're-
like subscribe, obey. Yeah.
It's close enough. Obeys at the end. That's all
Obey
we
is
need.
at the end. Do it.
AJ, if you could fact check us Ah.
Man, you just made fun of AJ in front of everyone.
I did not.
Oh.
Don't
She
put that
didn't.
on me.
She totally did.
Fact check.
I think you said it again.
Yeah, you did.
What? Did I really? Fact. Fact.
Don't worry. We'll fix it.
We'll fix it. It's
We'll
fine.
fix that. We'll fix that.
We're not fixing that. Well, anyways, my name is Brian,
I'm Joe.
Amanda.
And I'm Troy.
and we are
The
The
Taste of Dragons. Have a great week, everyone.